That balance is looking a little low.
Looks like we need to save some money, and quick.
There are a lot of reasons why you might need a sudden influx of cash. Prices are going up. Maybe you spent more than you thought that you would have to. Or maybe your emergency fund took a little bit of a beating because some unexpected things happened in the past few months. Or it could even be that you had some goals and they were a little farther away on the horizon, and all of a sudden you realize, wait a minute, I think they're a lot closer than we thought that they were. We've had all of those things happen. And when that's happened, we actually develop some strategies that we use in order to find cash that is already in our budget, that is extra cash that we can skim off the top of the budget in order to save up some money and do it fast.
If you can totally identify with what Hope was just talking about, and you've been in that boat, drop a line in the comments. Let's save money.
In case you don't know us, I'm Hope.
And I'm Larry.
This is Under the Median, where every week we talk about practical frugality. All right, strategy number 1 to help you save up some money and save it fast. That is radically reduce your grocery expenses for a short period of time. We just did this. In the first quarter of 2023, we reduced our grocery budget to $100 a month for our family of 4. Now, why did we do that? There were a couple of different reasons. One of which, though, was that our pantry shelves were so full that stuff was falling off of the shelves. Also, the freezers were so full that we were having trouble shutting the freezer. And I was like, this is ridiculous, because clearly we have plenty of food on hand to eat. It's just that we are choosing to go to the grocery store and spend more money rather than eating what we already have at home. So I told Larry, I said, 3 months, we're going to radically drop it, and we're going to make sure that we are focusing and concentrating on eating those items that are in the pantry and already in the freezer. And it worked great. But I learned some really important things from doing this. And one of them, now listen up, because we all get into this boat, is that I was not spending as mindfully as I thought I was at the grocery store. It seems that you walk in the grocery store, tell me if you identify with this, and it's like all of a sudden like this haze goes over your eyes and you're like, oh, look, that looks good. Oh, I'm craving that. And all of a sudden you look at your basket and you're like, how the heck did all this stuff get in there? Well, you put it in there because it just all of a sudden looked really good and you put it in your basket. And we all get into that sort of habit when we walk in the grocery store. So I realized that I needed to focus a lot more on mindfully shopping. But believe it or not, when you do that, it is really very successful to cut your grocery budget and skim all of that money off the top of your grocery budget and put it into whatever you need to save money for.
Another area that you can work on, and we've done this too, is to cut subscriptions. Take a look at all the things that you're subscribed to. Now, we're coming after you. Netflix, Amazon Prime, anything that you're paying for on a monthly basis. Are you really using it? Do you need it? Is that an absolute have to? If not, you can cut those and add that money to your savings.
Now, here's another reminder when it comes to subscriptions, and sometimes we don't even really think of this as being a subscription, but it is. When they tell you that if you'll hit that auto ship option, that you're going to save 10 or 15% because they're going to ship it to you every 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, your regular order, that in effect is a subscription. But what winds up happening with those is oftentimes the product wasn't what we really expected it to be. We're not using it as quickly as we thought we would, or we find out we've just sort of outgrown the whole use of that product and we don't even need or want it anymore. So look really carefully at those things that you're paying money for.
It might be time to cut those expensive subscription services that you're signed up for and find a less expensive option. And finding a less expensive option is our next strategy.
We all get in a habit of paying for something and then feeling like, I know in my heart I really should look for something less expensive, but it just seems like it's going to be a super big hassle and a lot of work in order to switch from what I already know to something that is new and different. And believe me, we totally get it. For years, I paid a cell phone bill every month that was $45 a month. And I would get it literally and say, why is this so expensive? And I knew that I should find something different, but it seemed like it was going to be a lot of work on my part to do so. And then I found out about Mint Mobile, and I'm so glad that I switched. Mint Mobile, by the way, is our partner for this video. Took me 15 minutes to switch, guys, and I am really seriously not a techie person. I was able to keep my previous cell phone number. I was able to use an eSIM card. Our boys, by the way, had Mint send them a free physical SIM card when they switched to Mint Mobile. That's right. Larry and the boys saw how much I was saving with Mint Mobile every month. My new cell phone bill, by the way, $15 a month. And they decided to switch to Mint Mobile. We use Mint Modern Family to manage all of our plans in one easy-to-use, handy hub. With all of Mint's plans, you get unlimited talk and text, the nation's largest 5G network, and you also get mobile hotspot, which we really, really love having. Now, all of that is admittedly a really great deal. But if what you are looking for is an amazing deal to make the switch, then we have one for you. Mint has an extra special offer for our channel. When you sign up with Mint between now and July 14th, then you will be able to get their unlimited plan, which is normally $30 a month, for just $15 a month, and that is a 50% savings. Here's how you get all the info. You can scan that QR code, which is right there, right between us right there. Or you can also check it out using that special link. That is our special link. It is mintmobile.com/under the median. There's also a link all the way at the top of the description of this video. So you can get all the information you need and start saving right now.
The fourth strategy in saving some money is to stop eating out. You know, the average American family of four spends $3,000 a year eating out. And I bet that figure is actually low. A lot of times we think about eating out as a single event when actually it might be an ongoing occurrence. Perhaps we just ate out 3 days ago, and so we've got kind of a habit going on of eating out. Another thing is sometimes we just eat out because we feel like it. We don't feel like making a meal and having our dinner at home and having to do the dishes and all the work that's involved with that. We're tired. We've been working all day. So we take the easy way out and we go out to eat.
I think we have to admit, like, if we went out to eat based on how we feel, we'd be going out
All
like
the
every
time.
other night. Oh, yeah,
all the
the time.
All the time.
And we're all in the same boat, right? But what we are forgetting is that we are actually eating up any potential savings by going out to a restaurant every single week and sometimes multiple times a week. So the golden key, honestly, this is it. Stop doing this by doing the following. Menu plan. Plan your meals ahead of time. Cook your meals ahead of time. I know that it seems like a lot of work, but the honest truth is that actually is less work than you might think that it is. We have a series of forms that we have used for years, and it'll help us know what we have in stock in the house, to menu plan every week, to know exactly what we're going to get at the grocery store. All of those forms are actually available. I'm going to make sure that I have the menu planning resources, and there'll be a link to that in the description of this video. The next way of saving money is actually, seriously, this is Larry's favorite.
And that is the 10% challenge. Now, this is an idea Hope and I came up with quite a while ago in order to do some strategy work on our budget. We work together on this. So you want to grab whoever it is that you budget with, grab your partner, and carve out about 20 minutes in the evening, maybe after you get done eating or something, where you can sit down, go over your budget, look at the different categories, and see where in total you can cut 10% off of that budget. Honestly, you'll be amazed at how quickly this can be accomplished. And if you want some further instructions on it, Hope and I did a video on this a while back where we talk in depth about the 10% challenge. We'll leave a link up above and in the description of this video for that one.
And in fact, in that video, we talk about when we did this and one of our 10% goals and how we actually didn't make the goal and we didn't reach that 10% savings and how that made us feel and what we did to like improve ourselves the next time we had that same goal. So be sure to watch that video. It's kind of fun.
I think it's good to know that sometimes we set goals. It doesn't mean we make them every single time, but the fact is by making those goals, you're working toward it. And I think that's the thing that we all need to do, and that still helped us save some money.
Do us a quick favor, will you? If you're finding this video and the information in it helpful, would you please hit that like button for us? It really does help us with the YouTube algorithm. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you do that too.
Another strategy that maybe we don't think about real carefully is discretionary spending. This is an area that can be easily cut. Now, what is discretionary spending? Well, that's spending that's over and above our needs. That is some choices that we make in what we want to spend.
So that would spend like more in the wants category.
Absolutely.
These would be your wants and not necessarily your needs. And maybe it helps to kind of put it in that framework to look at everything you're spending and think, is this a need or is this a want? And that will help you kind of figure out where your discretionary spending is. Because what happens with us is once we kind of started looking carefully at what our discretionary spending was, we discovered that these were kind of what we like to call the holes. These are the areas where money was sort of, it was coming out of like little holes, kind of like a colander, and it was seeping out those holes. And we didn't realize until we looked really hard at those areas how much money was actually seeping through those holes every single month. And that's why this strategy is really, really powerful when you're trying to save money and do it quickly. This next strategy is also one of Larry's favorites.
And actually, it's very popular. Dave Ramsey talks about this all the time. Other financial strategists talk about this strategy, and that is to pay with cash. You know, this is the stuff that when it goes out, it hurts. It hurts when you give these out. Now, when you pay by a credit card, you put the credit card in the little slot and it does its thing, and you pull it back in and you put it back in your wallet. So you haven't lost anything. But when you're giving these out, you have that sense of loss.
Did you notice that I took your money when you were looking? You were talking. I see, look, it hurts when you give it out. No, seriously, it does. You feel that loss a lot more when you are counting out all of this cash rather than sliding that debit card or that credit card into that machine. And you realize exactly what you've spent. Now he's going to hide his money. Strategy number 8, consolidate trips. This also is something that very recently we began kind of looking really hard at and trying to do more deliberately. When you realize that you're going to go out to do all of your major, let's say running. I don't know. That's what my grandparents always called it. We're going to do all of our running in one day.
Running the errands, we always called it.
And so we've decided like once or twice a week, that's when we're going to do all of our errands. And it really helps us because we realize we don't want to go out and actually burn gas in the car all of the rest of the days of the week. So we have figured out that when we go out, we're going to stop at 2 or 3 or 4 places before we come back home again. We allow a little bit more time for it, but ultimately it really does wind up saving us on gas throughout the month.
Let me add to that. If you pick a time of the day where there's a lot of heavy traffic out, and you also pick the night when the grocery stores or wherever you're happening to go aren't as busy, like let's say on a Monday night, that is a better time to go shop. You'll get it done a lot faster and you won't be frustrated by doing it that way.
Number 9, sell some stuff. Set a timer. Now, this is like one of our challenges for you. Set a timer for 20 minutes and go around your house and find 10 items that you don't need anymore, you don't want anymore, don't fit anymore. You've decided you just outgrown it. It's not meeting your needs anymore. There's got to be at least 10 items in your house, guys, that you don't need anymore that you can turn around and sell and bring in a really quick influx of cash.
This next strategy we kind of touched on a little bit earlier, and that is to buy needs and not wants. Carefully consider before you hit that buy now button, do you need it, or is it just something that you want to make you feel better? Sometimes you just want to buy something because it feels good. But if you stick to the need part instead of the wants, you'll save a lot of money on those items that you're not purchasing.
Even considering whether something is a need or a want, one of the things that we have discovered through the years has been super helpful for us when we're shopping is to always make sure that we have a calculator with us. Of course, nowadays we all have our cell phones and there's a calculator on the cell phone. But I think before you walk up to that checkout, actually running the numbers, sometimes that is incredibly sobering because what happens is you get to the checkout and you're kind of embarrassed to tell the checkout lady, oh, I'm sorry, I need to put that back. Or you don't even realize it. Honestly, you don't even think about it until you get out to the car and you look at the receipt and you're like, holy cow, did I really spend all that? But if you actually do the totals on a calculator before you get to the checkout, oftentimes that's when we find ourselves standing in the middle of the store saying, all right, what 2 items are we going to put back?
Another way to decide whether something's a need or a want, bounce it off of your partner. What seems like a need to you may not be a need. Your partner might say, well, we've got 4 of those in the back already. Or they may disagree and say, no, we really don't need that. So Hope and I kind of check each other, and that does save us quite a bit of money.
Now, let's just say that you are totally on the savings train with us. You are on board the train. It's chugging down the tracks now. We got you thinking in ways of how to save money. You're like, I would love to know some more ways that I can save money. We did a video where we talked about different ways that you can save an additional $200 every month. I had a little chart in there for you that showed you how that actually added up over time and saved a boatload of money. That video, if you haven't watched it, you might find super helpful, and it's right over there.